Welcome back to Comic Book History, episode number 83. Yes, it's been a few months since I did this one. Now I'm talking to a character. Well, I'm talking about something related to comics. Don't worry about that. It's basically about trade paperbacks. Now, these, of course, basically from Marvel Comics, they became sort of prevalent kind of in the early 2000s. Mostly like stuff here and there. But from what I can tell anyways, for comic book wise, mostly put everything that's been released, from what I can tell, from like about late 2004 till very recently, is pretty much all in trade by our comics. Like all the major comics. And it's kind of the same thing with the Heroes Reborn years, which is basically like 95 to about 97-ish. A lot of the set release period of time is in trade, but not exactly everything. But this you might find interesting, though. But what about the time period of 1998 to about where basically Marvel start far back they would collect this stuff? 98 to about mid-04. A lot of the series' period of time have been collected in trade. Amazing Spider-Man, Peter Parker Spider-Man, Avengers, Fantastic Four, surprising Wolverine has been most of it collected, but not exactly everything yet, but it is pretty much collected there. Let's see. Thor. Like, a lot of the really big titles have been collected. There have been some series that never, ever been seen light up a trade paperback. For no reason. I don't know exactly what the reason was for this time period. I'm like, it's like Marvel's not embarrassed by this, but there are some books where there's a lot of issues just simply not in trade. And to my knowledge, there's no explanation for this, but like here's an example for you. Iron Man Volume 3, which I'm discussing that right now. Did you know that of the 89 issue released that volume, let's see, 33. Here's what's been collected so far. The first 33 issues, 50 to 69, and 84 to 89. Also, the first two annuals for that run have been collected in trade. But you're thinking, wait, what about the rest? Not trade. I'm going to discuss with that in the comic corners for that one. But that you might find interesting. Uncanny X-Men issues. Now, here's this interesting with Uncanny X-Men. Most of this era has been put into trade. All but 6 issues. For X-Men, X-Men Volume 2, it's kind of the same thing. So this one's all but 7. You're thinking, wow, only 7. You're thinking, okay, what other series have been finished collecting this era? Wolverine kind of is not finished here because actually a small number of issues not in trade. I mean, the entire volume is not entirely in trade. Not really. I think there's like some issues not in trade from what I can tell, but there's some, but not all of them. And you think, okay, what else is not in trade here? Is the Venom run from this era in trade? Yes, it is. Okay. The Doctor Strange books that was released period of time. Yep, all 3 of them are in trade paperback. Flight Bones, The Oath, and the first Strange volume. They're all in trade. You're thinking, okay. Is there any Spider-Man book in this period of time not released in trade paperback? From what I can tell, basically all but one have been fully collected in trade. The only one that has not been is Web Spinners. That's the only one. Tangle Web, yes, I'm discussing right now. That is in trade paperback. You're thinking, okay, so is there any major series period of time not in trade paperback? Cable. Yeah, Cable for some reason doesn't have a lot of issues in trade. Yeah, for original 107 issue volume, a lot of this one's not in trade. But yeah, here's the thing: volumes 2, 3, and 4 complete in trade. Volume 1 that's not going to change treatment. Deadpool Volume 1 is entirely in trade. A lot of these series are in trade. X-Force, from what I can tell, most of it's in trade paperback form. Not. Actually, I think it is. I think pretty much the whole era from that period. I say just about everything released from 98 to 04 is in trade paperback. Mostly. Okay, there is one major series released this period of time that is not in trade, and this might surprise you. As far as I can tell, there's no trades this one. Mutant X. Now, some of you might ask me, Nick, what the heck is Mutant X? You mean the TV show? Oh, no. This is complete unrelated TV show. This is the Soul Havoc book that had get transported in the universe at the conclusion of X Factor. Yeah, it's a weird old universe where, like, Storm is still a vampire. I think, like, Havoc is married to, I think, Rogue, I believe it is. And Elektra's his nanny of his daughter. Yes, seriously. And by the way, this series we follow up in Exiles. That series is all in trade. Yes, Exiles is. And isn't that surprising? That one's in trade. That entire 100+ issue series is in trade. But yet, Iron Man does not get finished for some reason. And this also might surprise you. Hulk. Yes. Believe it or not, almost the entirety of the Incredible Hulk series is in trade paperback form. And you're probably thinking, really? It is? Oh, yeah. Excuse me, yes. Yeah, that's the strange thing about Incredible Hulk. Is that, well, his epic collections, and with the, if you think about it, the Marvel Masterwork book had stopped at issue 265. But here's something interesting, though. Did you know, thanks to trades I reviewed, that some of the issues is there, but not all of it? You're thinking, really? Yes, really. Yeah, there's actually a couple issues here not in trade, and that is 667. Yeah, these two are, well, the trade I read, let's see. I thought they were in trade here. Yeah, but pretty much like for the whole comic book, just about almost every single issue, except for like I can tell 3 issues, are not in trade. You're thinking, really? Yeah, mostly. Though there's also issues 449 to 459. Yeah, those not in trade either. Well, are they? Well, actually, as a matter of fact, it is. Yep, so I'd say of that run, all about 2 issues not in trade. And this might shock you. Volume 2, which is also Incredible Hulk Volume 1, that whole run is in trade. Really? It is? Yep. It is. The entire run. Took a while. But did you know the first 33 issues were not originally collected in trade originally? Yeah, when they started in 02, they started collecting Bruce Jones' run. And they collected that point forward. But not in the case of the first 30 issues. It took later. Like, Dogs of War. That was released in 01. That was technically the first trade collected for this run. And then they skipped the next 13 issues. For reasons. Yeah, and then, of course, basically the Hulk by John Byrne Gardner. That was released in 2012. Now, somebody asked Nick, why are you talking about trade paperbacks? I like trade paperbacks. I like these things. Now, you're probably also thinking, like, is there any other series not finished yet besides Iron Man, Wolverine, Uncanny X-Men, X-Men Volume 2? Is there any series not finished? Of course, Cable also. I think it's, I could tell anyways. I think it's X Factor, X Force. I could say probably Excalibur. Yeah, Excalibur. Let's see. I could probably throw in Spectre Spider-Man because not a lot of the series was collected in trade. As a matter of fact, the post onslaught stuff, the post Clone Saga stuff was not in trade. Not really. There's a good chunk anyway. Some by very very small amount. But if you think about it, the only series with the most issues not in trade is Iron Man Volume 3. Excuse me, that's it. Yeah, and this is a very strange period of time. This is a time period that they produce good comics. DC had a big reputation for the late 90s where like I read a lot of comics released this time period. Like the comics released late 90s for DC were amazing. It felt as though basically DC put good writers in their books. And it was a bad book release period of time. Well, until we got the 2000s mostly, from what I could tell. I heard the Superman books. Yeah, I did notice some Superman books had some bad artwork, but it wasn't as bad as I heard it was. But DC something else altogether. As my fingers like not even a lot of the series period of time on trade. But we're talking about Marvel. Like, okay, is there any major series else not in trade for this time period? Some are thinking, what about Captain America? That is in trade. That entire era. Well, the only issue not collected that came out this period at the time was issue 13, volume 3, but there's a reason. There's a reason for that. The reason is because of legal issues. Yes, legal issues. And thinking, okay. You're thinking, Nick, why do you not talk about superhero? I want to talk about something interesting. What are these trade paperbacks? Well, I like talk about this stuff because basically the sole purpose of my comic corner, talk about trade paperbacks and some individual issues, just talk about these characters. And some might say recently that because of my comic corners, that basically doing these comic histories is a bit pointless. But I like doing these series. I like this series. But did you know, and this might surprise you, there was actually a single mini-series released from our comics in the last 20 years that has never been collected in trade. And you're thinking, which one? Isn't everything from Marvel Comics released from like 05 to late 06, 04 to 05-ish to present all in trade? Yes. There is one series not in trade. And to my knowledge, there's no explained reason for it, but I know the series can't, low sales. All Winter Squadron, that mini-series. Yeah, I heard it was canceled, low sales, for supposed to be 8-issue limited series, but got canceled issue 5. Yeah, but any other like major titles not collecting in trade? The Chain mini-series. Well, I'm not really high hopes, it's just a mini-series, but ongoing-wise, mostly just some bits here and there. But like I said, Iron Man's the biggest one that's not in trade. And I kind of wish they would finish collecting because it has some really good issues in this one. Yep. Not much else to say of this one. I just felt as though I needed to do this one because I haven't talked about this myself for quite some time. So why not basically get it out there? Marvel. Finish collecting Iron Man Volume 3. Yep. So yes, that's pretty much the particular view. You've been thinking, what about tomorrow? Tomorrow, I might be reviewing. Well, I got a couple comic horrors ready to go. Yes, I do. But actually, it's more like, yeah. Actually, no. I think it's about two comic horrors ready to go. I think it is. Yep. So tomorrow, a couple comic corners, and I probably will be going back to Devil's Part-Time for a few episodes because basically I'm almost done with the book. Okay. Next video.